Now, joining us in the studio is Ato Amwa, who is the Executive Director of Migrants Watch, the NGO, bringing awareness to this issue. Thanks for your time. Now, first of all, can you narrate to us how this issue came to your attention?
Thank you very much for the opportunity. We have our office situated around the Tishinungwa enclave, and we are actively on the social media pages. So a message was left in one of our messenger, and upon getting back to them, a lady from Kaswa wanted to visit the office. So we obliged and asked her to come. She was a grown-up. She came with a son with a complaint that their daughter is stranded and stuck in Iraq, for which reason they would want us to be of help, because one of our food officers in Libya was conducted and he gave us directions. We were able to prove further and got them to call the lady from Iraq, and she narrated the story. So we told her point that there's a little we can do to mitigate her situation as an individual, for which reason, if she can as well lead us to other Ghanaians in such circumstances, then we will write to the appropriate quarters for support. Lo and behold, after 2 days, I got her to create a platform, and currently, as I'm talking to you, we have 75 of them, 40 in Kurdistan, and another 32 in Baghdad, Iraq itself. Now, we are, as an NGO, we lack the mandate to proceed forthwith. We can only share the intel we've gotten with the relevant stakeholders, i.e., the Migration Management Bureau of Ghana Immigration Service, our critical partner, IOM Ghana and GIZ, for them to see how best they can prevail upon the state through the Foreign Affairs to assist with further investigation and authenticate their claim of being Ghanaians, and issue them with travel certificate, because most of them do not have travel certificates.
Talking about not having travel certificates, we're told or we hear that their passports are seized and whatnot. So in a case like that, how do you reintegrate or how do you bring them back?
Yes, as a first phase of our investigation, we got them to send us copies of, because most of them have copies of their visas and their passport. So we have these copies of the passport with us, which the Foreign Affairs would further have to go through to see whether they are genuine or fabricated to conclude on that front.
All right, but how serious is this one, knowing that we've seen several of these exposés over the period?
Yes, the campaign has been very intensive for some time now, but the recruiters have also devised a means to outwit the system. For instance, since the imposition of the Visa 20 regime by the government to, as it were, reduce or keep the influx of Ghanaians, the influx of Ghanaians going outside, I can tell you for fact and on authority that Ghanaians traffickers are using the Togo border and further continue with Air Ethiopia to convey this Ghanaian migrant at the blind side of the state institutions. So I think the surveillance aspect and the legal regime by way of prosecution should be enhanced, and further advocacy should also be looked at how best we can, because we can't put a stop to the advocacy bit of this whole challenge.
Okay, now, so how are you re-engaging these girls that are back into society? How do you re-engage? Because we're told that some of them go through very serious treatments. They are beaten, they're given leftover food. Do you have a reintegration program that seeks to take care of the post-traumatic stress that they've been through?
Yes. We were fortunate to have been considered for some grant funding from the West African branch of the Open Society Foundation, USA, situated in Senegal. We wrote to them for assistance for this reintegration, and they responded positively to our request and have subsequently funded us to take care of 75 of those that were rescued. Yes, we've been able to do the media launching somewhere last month, 19th April, and we just brought to a closure of a successful training program for them at Shire Hills yesterday after 4 days intensive training, whereupon products that seek to further complement the fight against malaria were produced and manufactured with FDA backings.
Okay.
Yeah, we would enclave and plead with the junior corporate, the corporate world, to, as it were, see how best they can complement some of these interventions coming from without to see how best we can give our girls some dignified living
Okay.
now that they've decided to come
Now,
home.
before I let you go with the issue of these agents, how do we actually tackle these agents? Because they come with very enticing, offers with free passports, free airline tickets, and some of these offers are very hard to resist. So how do we really tackle this issue fundamentally? Because I'm sure if any woman is around and you come and tell her, okay, well, we're offering you these jobs with this pay, painting that picture of is greener on the other side. How do we really tackle this?
Yes, I think as an organization, we have our limitations. For instance, we cannot engage in the rescue itself, so-called. So what we do is, once we share this intel with the relevant assessment, we have been targeted. The training that we just did at Shah Hills, we identified about 3 girls who, per our checks, are infiltrators, and they were sent in there by traffickers. But we have to also manage the situation and not to create any scene for the others to be affected. So we're able to manage it. We are careful. I've been receiving a lot of threat messages, but we share same with the police. So we would plead with the security agencies. I know Chief Ban and his team are doing marvelously well because they've been collaborating with us in the past, and they continue to do that. But I think the National Security Bit must also, because they are in charge of proper surveillance, and that is the best they can. Because they are lurking around the passport office enclave. I had an encounter last week.
Wow. Well, kudos to you. Good job done. And many thanks for your time. Ato Amoa is the Executive Director of Migrant Watch NGO, bringing awareness to this issue.